बा कहता पैसा वाले बा केस डालें चल बा कोणते अच्छा वकील पकड़वा फर्स्ट संभालना होता नहीं बा हमारे हाथ से पैसे नहीं सर क्या बच्चा का जमाना कते पैसा होना
तो गोल्ड फ्लैग दो ना। गोल्ड फ्लैग दे।
Sir, commencement, sir.
Last stream दे
Shall we
दीजिए।
start now, sir? Sir, commencement, sir.
अभी लाते लाते पिघलेगा नहीं। Sir, we can start.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
चॉकलेट लेते आओ क्या? यार को। ये दो दिन।
Good evening, honorable person here. This is Dr. S. Shekhar, founder and managing trustee of Star International Foundation for Research and Education. Today we are conducting 2 days FDP program on research methodology for social science. Now I would like to invite Dr. M. Anbuchelvi to introduce the chief guest address. Madam, recording on money.
तीन पे सबको ले दे दो। फोन पे सबने आएगा।
Please turn on the recording.
लो इसमें इधर एक दो
ब्लू और ग्रीन
कैंसिल करो 200 आप करो 200 कर इसमें करो हाँ लो 2 केजी चावल दे दो
अरे ब्लू और ग्रीन दो ना
ठीक है वो
दूसरा टॉप पे दो
ठीक है बोला राइट
Thank you very much, madam. Dear Dr. Sekhar, Dr. Anbu Selvi, madam, learned faculty members, and all the research scholars, participants, a warm and pleasant evening to one and all. At the very outset, I would like to thank Dr. Sekhar sir and his team for having given me wonderful opportunity to be the resource person for the two-day workshop on research and objectives, hypothesis, questionnaire drafting, etc. I appreciate the efforts of Dr. Sekhar for the wonderful arrangement. And this workshop is free of cost. He has invited lot of faculty members, research scholars, and the students to know more about the research. And today, our brothers and sisters are celebrating Ramzan. One of the participants from Pakistan, Nurul Huda, said today is the first day there in Pakistan. In spite of that, he wanted to participate in our workshop. Not only Nurul Huda, but many more brothers are there, I have seen. So I wish all the brothers and sisters a happy Ramzan, Eid Mubarak. Be happy always. Thank you. Today, we are going to cover three major domains of research. Number one, introduction to research. Number two, art of writing literature review. And number three, identification of research problem. It is very happy to discuss with such an elite forum. I have seen many of the participants are already working as professors, associate professors, assistant professors. Some guest faculty members are also there, research scholars, PhD scholars, and MPhil scholars are there. Their interest shows that they want to learn more and more, even if they have acquired a good position. So acquiring the position is different. Getting a doctoral degree or postdoctoral degree is different. But being a teacher, it is our responsibility to update our knowledge in the domain in which we are working. Every day, what is going on in and around our field, we have to learn. We have to understand, we have to realize, because in this dynamic and digital world, the students, the scholars, and the youngsters are having more and more technological support. With that, they can learn more than the teachers, quicker than the teachers. Is it not? So it is always better for us to gain more and more knowledge, to update our knowledge every day in every way we have to do it. Accordingly, many teachers, many professors have been actively participating in this two-day workshop. I would like to appreciate and congratulate all such faculty members for their keen interest in learning many things about the research. So today we are going to discuss about the introduction to research. You know, what is research? That and all we know very well. Research is not a single word. It can be divided into two. Re plus search. So re means again and again. Search means finding something. So we have to find something. We have to find a solution. We have to find a knowledge. We have to find some concept. We have to understand such concepts in different perspectives, in different views. So this should not be stopped with a single research. It should be carried on forever, every day, in every field. The research should be carried on. You know, that is why re plus search. Re plus search means repeated search. It should be repeated in every field. Even in the same field, we need different types of understanding. We need to develop different concepts. You know, in the marketing field, one of the participants, Dr. Murugan, from botany department, I really astonished his interest in marketing the agricultural products, organic agricultural products. He belongs to botany department. He wants to carry out certain research. You know, marketing is a different field, agriculture is a different field, but marketing of agricultural products requires a certain research. So here, even though we have a lot of solutions, we have a lot of knowledge, we have a lot of awareness, we have to carry out research again and again. That's called repeated search. Then the second one is reliable research. Whatever search we are doing, that should be reliable. The observations we are making, the results we have found from the research should give a reliable solution. So there must be some reliability. Whatever you do, it should not just be taken for granted. There must be some reliability. And in every YOS examination, one common question is asked from the audience as well as the examiners. What is the social relevance of your study? So here, the relevance, how your study is relevant to the society, how your study is relevant to the country, how your study is relevant for the society in the day-to-day activities, in the field of commerce, in the field of agriculture, in the field of engineering, in the field of business, in the field of education, in the field of medicine, in the field of engineering, even in social media. Whatever research you are doing should be relevant to your field. Then required research. Unnecessary work should not be carried out. Whatever you are carrying out should have that importance, that significance. There should be some need for the study. You should mention the rationale for the study, why this study is carried out. You can do the research in any field, on any topic. But the thing is, why you are doing? What is the need for this study? That is important. So that is called need for the study or required search. So whenever you are doing research, understand that there should be repeated search, there should be reliable search, there should be relevant search, and there should be required search. So what are we searching? We are searching for knowledge. We are searching for learning. We search for understanding. We search for clarity. We may have certain knowledge. In-depth understanding must be there. Clarity of knowledge must be there. For that, we can search. And in the day-to-day activities, we are facing a lot of problems. For every problem, we need to search a solution. Because we cannot completely avoid the problem. And we can never neglect or ignore the problem. When the COVID-19 was spread all over the world, it was a serious problem, you know. Yes, we understood. It was a serious outbreak of COVID-19. The problem was there. But even now, we are not able to control or throw away the COVID entirely. But the thing is, during the first wave of COVID-19, we scared off. Even though we didn't know the impact of such COVID-19, we were scared. During the second wave, the toll increased. It has affected. But now, we are taking little care of COVID-19 because we have found a solution by means of vaccination. Vaccine is there, Covishield is there. We have taken the vaccination at the appropriate time. So we feel that we are safe from the COVID-19. So even for that problem, we are able to find a solution. Similarly, in our field, whether it is commerce, history, botany, chemistry, science, social work, anything else, there must be some problems. These problems can never be completely avoided, but we are able to find a solution for the problem. So the research is carried out not only for searching knowledge, not only for gaining knowledge, not only for understanding the concepts, but also to find out solution to various problems, whether it is a smaller problem or a bigger problem, that is different. But the thing is, if you are able to find a solution to a problem, then you'll be out of the stress. Otherwise, you'll be in a stressful environment. So if a problem is there, it is to be solved. It can be solved by conducting a research. So research is a repeated search, reliable search, relevant search, and required search. The search is for knowledge. The search is for finding a solution. How? In a scientific way, in a systematic way. There should be some systematic way. These are the steps involved in the research. So each step you have to proceed in the same order. So it is called scientific way or systematic way, so that the research can be conducted smoothly, without any difficulty, without any delay, without any obstacle. The research can be carried out. If the research is to be conducted smoothly, we have to proceed in a systematic way, step by step manner. This is the first step, this is the second step, and this is the third step. Like that, we have to proceed so that the research can be conducted smoothly and successfully. That is why we need to understand the various concepts underlying with the research. You know, what are the different types of research? See, the research can be divided into various types. Different types are there. If you go through research methodology book, you can find a lot of types. Basically, what we need to understand is that research can be divided into 6 important types. These 6 types of research can be coupled into 3 types: descriptive and exploratory, pure and applied, quantitative and qualitative. So the first one, the first pair of type of research is descriptive research and exploratory research. This is the first one, descriptive and exploratory. Second couple or second pair of types of research is pure research and applied research. And the third pair is quantitative research and qualitative research. So let us see one by one. See, first one, descriptive research. Here, we are conducting the research in the descriptive research design for the purpose of describing the characteristics of the variables. What are the characteristics of variables? So that is only described in this type of research. So it is a descriptive research. We are just telling what is what. We are just describing the characteristics of a population or a phenomena that is being studied. For study, we might have taken a population. From that population, we are taking sample. Certain phenomena is there. So what is the phenomena? What is the population? What is the sample that is described? For example, you have taken 300 samples, out of which 160 are male, 140 female, 130 are male, like that. So here, what is the description? How many are educated? How many are employed? How many are married? How many are male? How many are female? How many are singles? How many are belonging to this age group? Like that, we are describing the phenomena, describing the characteristics of a population. This type of research is not suitable for answering the questions like how and why the characteristics occur. We don't know how. We don't know why. We don't know when. From a descriptive research, we will not be able to give answers to the questions how the characteristics of a population or of a phenomena occurred. No. When the characteristics of a population occurred, don't know. Why the characteristics of a phenomena occurred, we do not. We will not be able to provide answers to the questions like how, when, and why. From the descriptive research, we can answer how many. That is called descriptive. It cannot be used as the basis of a causal relationship where one variable affects another. You know, while carrying out the research, we can have lot of variables. One variable may be dependent on another, or one variable may be influencing another. One variable may be affecting another variable. That we call as causal relations, like cause and effect. You know, the demand, if the price increases, demand decreases. If the price increases, demand decreases. If the price decreases, demand increases. It is vice versa. So the demand is affected by the price. The demand is affected by the price. So here, the effect is increase in the demand. The cause is decrease in the price. If the price is decreased, obviously the demand is increased. So what is the cause? Cause is decrease in the price. Effect is increase in the demand. So this is said to be cause and effect. Cause and effect. So that is called causal relationship. Using this descriptive research, we are not able to find, we are not able to form the basis of a causal relationship where one variable affects another. It is simply to describe. This much is this much is belonging to this category. That's all. That is called descriptive research. Whereas in the case of exploratory research, this research is exploring something. There is some hidden information. We are bringing out, exploring. We are throwing a light. We are highlighting. We are bringing out. So this type of research attempts to clarify why and how there is a relationship, not there are. There is a relationship between two or more aspects of a situation or phenomena. At the same time, it attempts to identify actual reasons. So in the case of descriptive research, no answer can be obtained for the questions like how, when, and why. The answers to these questions can be obtained from exploratory research. So that is called actual reasons. See the difference between exploratory and descriptive research. Overall design. Exploratory or formulative research is flexible. The design of this research. Exploratory research is also called as formulative. So design of this study is flexible, whereas in the case of descriptive or diagnostic study, the overall design is rigid. It cannot be changed. It is not flexible. It is rigid. It is constant. This is all about the overall design. Then what about the sampling design? If we want to take up, but in practice, many scholars I have found, they have used both descriptive and exploratory design of research, even though the sampling design is based on probability. No issues. Please don't bother about it. It is generally stated or suggested that non-probability sampling design is better for exploratory study and probability sampling is better for descriptive study. Then statistical design. In the case of exploratory research type, there is no pre-planned design for analysis. Depending upon the situation, depending upon the nature of study, depending upon the problem, based on the previous studies, we can select any statistical tools. Whereas for the descriptive study, it is pre-planned. We are using percentage analysis. We are finding out the average. We are finding out the maximum, minimum, or range. So it is pre-planned. In the case of descriptive, it is pre-planned. Then observational design. As far as the exploratory study is concerned, it is unstructured. Here, the instruments for collection of data are unstructured. Observational design means how we are collecting or structured in instruments specified for exploratory or formulative research. Whereas for descriptive research type, there must be some structured or well thought out instruments for collection of data. We are preparing a structured questionnaire. We are preparing a structured interview schedule by administering the structured questionnaire among the selected respondents to collect the data, or by conducting either personal interview or telephonic interview, we can collect data using the interview schedule. That is also structured. Since it is given that unstructured instruments are used for collection of data in the case of exploratory research, it does not mean that the structured instruments should not be used. We can use the structured instruments also for exploratory research. Then come to the operational design. No fixed decisions about the operational procedures. We can change it according to your requirement. We can change it. How to operate the research, how to design the structure of study, that can be procedural wise in the case of descriptive study, and no such fixed decisions are made about the procedures of the research. Here it is said no fixed decisions. That means any structure or any design may be used. So these are the basic differences between descriptive study and exploratory study. See, these are the most commonly used types of research for every scholar in every field. That is why I am emphasizing more and more on these two types of research. So descriptive study is used to describe the characteristics of the population, sample, or phenomena. The design is rigid, probability sampling is used, pre-planned design for analysis is there for descriptive study, structured instruments are used for collection of data, operational procedures are well decided in advance. Whereas in the case of exploratory research, we can find answers to the questions how, why, and when. It has some flexible design. So at the top itself, it is mentioned that it is flexible. No rigidity, no fixed procedure for exploratory research. You look at all the distinguishing points, non-probability, no pre-planned. No pre-planned means planned design can also be used. Unstructured means flexibility is there. Structured questionnaires may also be used. No fixed decisions means any operational procedures can be followed. So this is the basic distinction between exploratory research and descriptive research. Then come to the next one, pure research. Pure research is also known as basic or fundamental research. It is undertaken out of intellectual curiosity or inquisitiveness. So we have certain knowledge, we have certain intellectual curiosity. Based on that curiosity, we would like to evolve certain concept, certain new theory. That evolution of new theory or profounding new concept, new theory by means of research is said to be pure research. It may lead to either discovery of a new theory, understand? Discovery of a new theory or refinement of an existing theory. See, everything is subject to change. There is a theory, you know, in the field of economics, a law of diminishing marginal returns is there. By consuming the same commodity, our returns are reduced. At one stage, it is saturated. Finally, we stop liking that product. That we have understood from the law of diminishing marginal returns. Again, increase in price results in decrease in demand. Sometimes increase in price may have increase in demand, like it is an exception to the commonly known theory. So if needed, the well-known concept or an existing theory can be refined, can be modified according to the time, according to the situation, according to the nature, according to the context. If required, it can be modified. So either to discover a new theory or to refine an existing theory, the pure research is undertaken. So pure research formed the basis for scientific, technological inventions like steam engine, machines, telecommunications, electronic gadgets, etc. So this is said to be pure research. Then come to the applied research. Applied research refers to scientific study, and this type of research seeks to solve practical problems. We can have a lot of practical problems. These problems can be solved by using applied research. In this case, we are applying the well-known theory, whether it is applicable to the current situation, to the present organization, to the present market, to the present domain, to the present field, whether this rule is applicable, whether well-known concept is applicable. We are applying that specific concept or rule, and we are testing whether that concept is applicable for this field, for this organization, for this population, for this society, or for this current period. So applied research is used to find out solutions to the day-to-day problems, to cure the illness, and to develop innovative technologies. For example, applied researchers may investigate ways to improve agricultural crop production. It can be used to treat or cure a specific disease, to improve the energy efficiency of homes, offices, or modes of transportation. You know, the energy efficiency. Earlier, we had some bulbs, then tube lights. Now we have LED bulbs. LED bulbs are used. That saves energy. So they are the instruments used for energy efficiency. Star-rated air conditioners, inverter air conditioners, they are also used for reducing the energy consumption. So that is called energy efficiency. So how this type of products are invented? By conducting the applied research. That's it. So this is about the applied research. Some basic differences are there, techniques such as surveys, questionnaires, and observations. Qualitative research is used to develop initial understanding. But quantitative research only helps to recommend final course of action. So initially we can go for qualitative research, but for final conclusion, it is always suggested to go for quantitative research. So these are the different types of research: descriptive, exploratory, then pure research and applied research. Then the last couple is quantitative and qualitative research. Quantitative research answers how many, how much. Qualitative, how, why, when, like in the case of descriptive study and exploratory study. So this is the first part we should know about the research. And second part of today's session is all about the art of writing literature review. When we talk about the literature review, we should understand certain questions and answers to these questions. Number one, when should we conduct a review of literature? Before starting the study, during the conduct of study, or after the conduct of study? You know pretty well the answer is before starting the study. For identifying a problem, you want to understand the concepts of your problem, you want to have in-depth knowledge about your problem, we have to refine the problem, we have to finalize the problem. For that, we need to survey the literature. We need to review the literature before starting the study. So, review of literature forms the basis of your study. Who are the sources of literature? First question, when? When should we conduct the review of literature? Before starting the study. Then second question, who? Who is the source of literature? The literature can be gathered, accessed, or obtained from the previous scholars. So previous scholars, those who have studied the related problems, the problems related to your study, are related to your concept. They are the sources of literature relevant to your study. Number three, how should we review the literature? This is the main question asked by many scholars. In many programs I have found, sir, how to conduct the literature review, sir. How to write the literature review, sir. This is one the most commonly asked question by the researchers as well as even the research supervisors. They are asking me, sir, how to review the literature, sir. How to present the review of literature, sir. Like that, many are asking. My answer, my simple answer to this question is thorough. Thoroughly you have to review the literature. Simply just reading out, copying and pasting certain text, or rewriting, taking the abstracts, taking the conclusions, copying and pasting the findings will not serve the purpose. You have to go through the entire literature thoroughly, right from the topic to the full stop given at the end of conclusion. Each and every part of the research paper, article, or thesis, or dissertation, or report, whatever it is, you have to go through thoroughly. You have to go through the entire literature thoroughly. Every part should be given equal importance. Okay, sir. We understand. Sir, why it is needed? Whether review of literature is a must, sir? Of course, it is must. Why it is must? Why it is important? To design your study, you know, designing of your study is that much of important. You know, we have a famous adage, well begun is half the done. Well begun is half the done. So if you design your study properly, suitably, then conduct of your study will be done smoothly. You can carry out your research without any dilemma, without any hurdle, without any obstacle. If everything is clear, this is my research design, these are the steps involved in my study, then okay, it is proper. You are going on the right direction, you are going on the right path. Certainly, you can reach the destination without any difficulty. So, for the purpose of designing your study, it is suggested to review the literature before starting the study, the literature available from the research scholars or previous researchers, and it should be done thoroughly. Sir, where is the literature available? Literature is available from the journals, magazines, previous studies, theses, dissertations, even from newspapers and magazines. You can get some sort of information relating to your study. Some in-house magazines are, some specific magazines like India, Finance India, it's a journal. Like Intelligent Investor, it is a magazine. Economic Times is a newspaper. So newspaper, magazine, journal, and previous studies. So research articles, research papers, some funded project reports, or even government reports, non-government agencies reports, some statistical information by the government and non-government agencies. They are all the sources where you can get the literature. Then finally, what is studied in the literature? Right from the objectives to the conclusion. So how the objectives are framed by the previous scholars for a study almost similar to your study. How many objectives they have framed? What are the objectives they have framed? What are the hypotheses they have formulated? What is the research design they have chosen? What is the instrument they have used for data collection? Which data they are relied upon? Primary data or secondary? Which instrument is used for collection of data? Questionnaire or interview schedule or some observational methods which is used. What is the sample size? What is the sampling method they have adopted? What are the statistical tools the previous scholars have applied for analyzing the data that is similar to your research. So based on that, you can understand that you can decide or you can design the methodology of your set. So these are the objectives framed by the others. See, for example, while reviewing the literature, you take some 5 or 10, the most relevant or very closely related papers of your subject, of your topic. Then pick up the objectives from each paper. Write down. These are the objectives of the first paper, second paper, third paper, fourth paper, like that. You can write down. Then common objectives can be eliminated. Repeated objectives can be eliminated. Then you can sort list. This is just for your help to understand what kind of objectives you can frame for your study. But it is your sole discretion. It is your decision to decide whether this objective should be framed or not. For example, if you have chosen 10 articles, 10 research papers, each may be having 3 or 4 objectives. So in total, some 30 objectives. That's the minimum we should take. Then common objectives or repeated objectives are eliminated, shortlisted. Finally, you can have at least 10 objectives. Out of these 10 objectives, what is conceived in your mind? How you want to proceed your study? What is your research problem? What are the questions you have asked? Or what are the research questions you have probed in your study? Based on that, you have to frame the objectives. So for framing the objectives, literature review is essential. Then what are the variables used? So variable selection can be made by reviewing literature. Many scholars, they are asking me, sir, what variables I can select for my study, sir? See, it's your study. You have decided the problem. You have asked the questions. You have framed your objectives. You are going to prepare your questionnaire or interview schedule. Before that, you should decide the variables. What are the dependent variables? What are the independent variables? What are the variables used by the previous scholars? What are the variables which can be considered relevant to your topic, to your problem? Sir, my guide is very busy, sir. I have no other persons to help me, sir. I am doing my research of my own, sir. I find it difficult to identify the variables, sir. No issues. Dear friends, if you are facing such a problem, no issues. You have well-dedicated guide. That is your literature. Go through the literature. So literature is the basis framing the objectives, for selecting the variables, for formulating the hypothesis, for selecting the appropriate statistical tools. So the data can be analyzed by employing different types of analytical tools, statistical tools, which is appropriate. That is must. If you don't have any idea about the selection of analytical tools, better again go to the review of literature. As I told you, for each concept, you just take 10 literature, 10 articles, that's enough. See, many scholars say that, sir, my guide asked me to write 150 literatures, 100 literatures. No need. Dear friends, no need. Suppose if you are framing 5 objectives, 5 concepts are studied, 5 problems, 5 questions are asked, better. For each question, for each concept, for each objective, you can go through a minimum of 10 literature. That is enough. That is more than enough. Above and all, if you are willing, you can have some more literature. That is enough. Not 150, 200, not like that. It's a blunder. 50. And moreover, if you are going through more and more literature, 100, 150, 200, what will happen? Your mind will be in the confused state. You will get confused. Which one I have to select, sir? Which frame, which objective I can frame, sir? Which hypothesis I can formulate, sir? Don't worry. My simple suggestion is just review a minimum of 10 literature for each and every concept, question, or objective. That's enough. So 50 is ideal. 60 or 70, okay. 100, 150, it is more than enough. Not necessary. So this is all about the literature review. So how I have to write literature? That is called art of writing literature review. Now we have got the answers for the basic questions. When, who, how, why, where, and now the question is how to write the literature. You know, plagiarism is a serious issue. The percentage of similarity allowed by many universities is just 10%. Please keep in mind, my dear brothers and sisters. Please keep in mind. Similarity percentage allowed is just 10%. Then what should I do? You should never simply copy and paste or cut and paste. Don't just go through the abstract. Don't just go through the introduction. Don't just go through the findings. Don't just go through the suggestions. Don't just copy and paste the conclusion. It is not the literature review. You have to review the entire body, entire literature you have to go through. Sir, how many days I have to spend? How many months I have to spend for literature review if I follow your methods? My dear friends, it is not at all a problem. I told you no. Just take 50 literature. Suppose if we are having 5 objectives, each 10. So in total, 50 literature is enough. You just download it. There needs no cost. You just download it. Unlike in the past, in our own research days, we had to visit so many universities in different places. Even in those days, Xerox copy was not allowed. We have to write everything off our own manually. It is a boring job. No. Nowadays, everything is available. Simply by sitting at home, you can go through the literature. And of course, if you search in Google, you may be having millions and billions of sources. Better you can go for Google Scholar. In the Google search engine, there is a sub-browser called Google Scholar. You open the Google Scholar browser and you type the keywords or concepts of your research set. The millions and billions of sources will be reduced down to thousands. Again, many examiners nowadays insist to go for the latest review only. If unless otherwise essential to mention about the concept propounded in 1950, 1960, you can take it. Otherwise, you have to take the latest literature only. Latest means last 10 years. Last 10 years. So in browser, there is an option called, you can filter the search. You can give the period or the year of article or year of the paper. From to option will be given. So that you can take 10 years. Now it is 2023. So you can take 2012 to 2022, like that you can select, you can filter. So that the thousands of literature or thousands of sources are now reduced to hundreds. So you can open. Some may be paid sources that you cannot access. You leave it, don't bother. Many scholars are asking me, sir, you said go through the entire literature, but not the entire paper is accessible, sir. Just abstract is given, leave it. Whatever is available as a full paper, you can take that only. Don't bother about it. I told you, lakhs of sources are there. It is reduced to thousands. It is further reduced to hundreds, is it not? You need just a 10 for each concept. That too very relevant, closely relevant. That is important. No? So you just open the full paper. You are just downloading. Downloading involves no cost. Just it requires space. Download it. Some 10 to 20. Downloading, you can download 20 for each concept. Then, during your free time, you can go through the soft copy of that 20, and based on that, you can shortlist the 10 most relevant literature, and you can take the printout. Please don't just rely on soft copy. You can take up the printout. Just 10. And how many pages are going to be? Just 10 pages, 12 pages, or 13 pages. At the maximum, 15 pages. That's all. So it is always better to go through the literature from refereed journals. Don't go for the cheaper journals. They will be just publishing, copying, and pasting articles. No methodology is followed, no proper language is used, spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes. In spite of that, it is published with ISSN. Oh, what a blunder it is. Please avoid that kind of journals. Go through the impact factor journals. Go through the indexed journals. So download it. Take a printout of the 10 most relevant literature. So for the first concept, you have taken the printout of 10 most relevant literature. Each may be having some 10 pages at the maximum. So 100 pages. Okay. At least you spend an hour a day for literature. An hour a day. You can at least 3 literature. 3 to 4 literature you can go through in a day. Okay. So that in just 3 days, you can complete the literature review of one concept or one objective. So if you are taking 5 concepts, at the maximum, you require 15 days. After that, you have to take up the notes, which is the important point you would like to mention in the literature review. The literature review should not be too lengthy or too short. Because if you are writing too lengthy literature, obviously there are more possibilities for plagiarism. As a beginner, you can write some 5 to 8 lines. Try to write literature for 5 to 8 lines. At the advanced level, you can follow certain critical review of literature or systematic review of literature like that, so that you can cut down the number of lines. That is different way in which you can present the literature. But initially, being a beginner, you try to write one paragraph of 5 to 8 lines of literature. And of course, for avoiding the plagiarism, don't write the title of the paper in your literature. You mention the name of the authors, and that too, if you are following APA style of referencing, American Psychologists Association, the latest edition says that earlier, if there are up to 3 authors, you can write the names of all the 3 authors. If there are more than 3 authors, you can write the name of the first author, and you can write it all, E-T space A-L, it all. For example, Balamurugan is one of the participants here. Balamurugan, Sengotuvel, Krishna Kumar, Ravichandran, Shailaja, Sonam Kumari Rawat, Nurul Huda. Like that, 7 authors are there. Is that 7 authors are? If there are 7 authors, you can write the name of the first author. Who is the first author? Balamurugan. So Balamurugan, comma, D dot it all. That's enough. Don't write Balamurugan, Vaibhav, Sonam Kumari, Jagadish, Krishna Kumar, Sailaja, Nurul, Huda. Not. In the previous edition, just 3 names. If there are more than 3 authors, you have to write first author name and it all. Now, up to 7 authors, you can write the names. But in spite of the latest edition, many of us are following the previous edition only. So just 3 authors means we are writing the 3 names. Otherwise, more than 3 means you can write it all. Balamurugan, it all. That's all. Send within bracket year of publication. Then in his paper entitled, no, not like that. You straight away mention what you would like to include in the literature. Like if you are particular about mentioning the findings of their study, then you can mention Balamurugan et al. Found that. If you want to point out the suggestions made by them, you can write Balamurugan et al. Suggested that. If you want to mention the conclusion, mention Balamurugan et al. Concluded. Or Balamurugan et al. Stated that. Balamurugan et al. Explained that, evinced that, emphasized that, revealed that, realized that, indicated that, implied that. Like that you can start. You finish it within few lines, just a paragraph. It should not be prolonged to several paragraphs or several pages even. Then, as I told you, you have taken some 50 literature. The structure I have told you how to write. Okay. So author's name and year or must, then whatever point you would like to stress, you would like to emphasize, that should be mentioned. That's all. Don't just copy paste. Don't just rewrite. You just understand the concept and write in your own style. Write in your own style. That's all. Then the literature review chapter. First, you just give an introduction. Then all the 50 literature should not be given at a stretch. It should be divided into different sections. Suppose you have taken literature for different concepts like the employee satisfaction, employee retention, employee relationship management, like that. And for each concept, provide a section separately. That's all. Or otherwise, you can separate the literature or divide the literature into two sections like studies conducted in the Indian context, studies conducted in the other countries or abroad. Like that you can divide. Then how to order? The literature should be presented in chronological order. What is chronological order? Year-wise order. Year-wise order. So it should be arranged year-wise, chronological. For each section, different order should be, separate order should be followed. For example, consumer behavior is the first section. You have taken some 12 literature or 13 literature. They are arranged in year-wise order, like 2013 literature is first, 2015 literature is second, 2015 literature is third. Again, one literature from the year 2015, it is presented in the fourth, like that. Then next concept, consumer satisfaction or consumer loyalty. Again, from the beginning, 2013, 2014, 2015, like that. So separate order, separate chronology should be followed. And nowadays, many scholars are writing in descending order. That's also okay. Traditionally, we are presenting in the ascending order. 2013 first, 14 second, 15 third, 16 fourth, like that. Nowadays, people are presenting in descending order. 2023 first, 2022 next, 2021 next, 2020 next, like that. That is also okay. But in between, there should not be any year without order. 2014, 2017, again 2016, it is not good. So literature should be presented like this. Then the reference. I told you, referencing style. APA style is followed. Earlier, we used to give footnotes. Footnote is also given in two methods. Number one, for each page, different sequence of numbers. Or for the entire chapter, consequent numbers are there. Suppose in the first page of your literature chapter, you have presented 3 literature. So 1, 2, 3 footnote. Second page, again 3, another 3. First method, again 1, 2, 3. Continuous method, 4, 5, 6. Because 1, 2, 3, first page. So third one is the last. So next one, 4, 4, 5, 6. Like that you can write. Whatever it is. It is footnotes. So in that page itself, the reference is given. Okay. Sometimes end note is given. What is end note? The references are given at the end of the chapter. That is said to be end note. In the case of footnotes, the reference is given at the same page where the literature is presented. For that, I told you 2 methods. One is continuous numbering, one is separate numbering, restarting the numbering. Suppose end note is given. In the case of end note, and you are giving the numbers, in that case, continuous number only is to be provided. Not 1, 2, 3 for different pages. 1, 2, 3 again, 1, 2, 3 again. Not like that. If you are giving end note, then the numbers are to be continuously given. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that. Then, if you have given numbers, certainly references in the end note should be given in the same order. First literature, first reference. Second literature, second reference. Third literature, third reference. Like that only. Sir, I have not given any number, sir. I just presented. In that case, please understand that the references are to be given in the alphabetical order. Like in the bibliography, here it should be given in the alphabetical order. So this is what about the literature review. Then the purpose, I told you, to provide background information, to establish importance, to demonstrate familiarity, to carve out a space for further research. Then finally, see here, steps in literature review, select a topic, go for sources, write the review, read, analyze, and critique, identify appropriate places to research. Based on that, you can find the research gap. Then the last part of today's session, research problem. Define the problem, identification of problems, and research questions. For identification of research problem, better it is always to consult the subject experts. See, not just seniors in your department. Suppose if my specialization is marketing and you are pursuing a study in financial management, being the senior most in the department, you want to consult with me, but I am not familiar with marketing management. I am specialized in financial management. Then how can I give you ideas about marketing management? So better, who are the experts in your field of study? You ask them, you discuss with them, you consult them for developing the problem. This is the first step you have to do. Then the last part we have discussed in today's session is review of literature. So that is the strong support that is very helpful for you to design your study. So for identification of problem also, it is better to go through the review of literature. If you go through the literature, you can understand what are the areas covered by the previous scholars, or what are the gray areas or uncovered areas in the previous studies. You can understand. If you are able to understand the areas covered and uncovered, certainly you will be able to identify the research gap. Sir, these are the things discussed, studied by the previous scholars. These are the areas not studied or not taken care of or not covered by the previous scholars. Okay. What are the uncovered areas? You list it out. From that, you can identify the gap. So this is the gap between the today's research position and the previous literature. Then how to select the problem. Many scholars are approaching the guide or the research supervisors. Sir, please suggest me the topic, sir. If you are asking me that question, my answer will be, why should I suggest you? It is your own study, dear friend. It is your own study. You should have the interest. You should have the patience. You should have the knowledge towards the problem you are going to study. If I insist a particular problem that is unliked by you, how will you carry out the entire research? So first of all, you should have the interest. Then, the problem which you are going to select should have some social significance, some relevance, some importance. There should be some need for the study. Then the third thing is, it should be new. It should be novel. It should be different from others. One more question mostly asked in the Viva Voce examination is, in what way your study is different from others? So you should have the novelty. Then you should understand whether there are resources available for collection of data, whether there is a specific requirement for conducting the study on this specific topic. So resources availability is one of the things to be considered before selection of research. Then social implications. After completing your study, what is the output to the society? What is the outcome? What you are going to give to the society from your study? See, simply for the sake of getting degree, you should not undertake any research. Whatever topic you choose, that should have some implications, practical requirement to the society. So social implications must be there. These are the things to be considered before selection of the problem. Then steps involved. I told you, no, outline areas of interest. What are the areas you have interest? So read about your interests, talk to your colleagues, find out what others are doing. So choose a topic, narrow your topic, then identify a research problem, then identify the purpose of your study. So observe your research environment, be curious and ask as many questions as possible about the problem to be selected for your study. See, once a problem is selected, once a problem is identified and selected, it should not be changed. So better, before finalizing the problem, you have to follow these steps. Outline the areas of interest, choose a topic, it should be narrowed down, then finally identify the research. These are the steps involved in identification of a research. So these are the things I wanted to let you know about the introduction to research, art of writing literature review, and identification of research problem. I hope you all might have gained at least little knowledge from this session. If it is so, the credit goes to Dr. Shekhar and his team for providing such a platform to disseminate my small knowledge on these topics among the excellent and elite audience, elite participants. With this, I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Sekhar and his team for providing such a wonderful platform. My heartfelt thanks are due to all the participants for the patient listening of my session for the past 2 hours without any tire. Thank you very much, all participants, once again. And now the floor is opened to the participants to ask any questions. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Participants are requested to ask your doubt to the today's chief guest.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Really, we had a wonderful session, and you have given insightful objectives that is
Thank you
going
very
to be
much.
useful for us for our research, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Sir,
you,
the
sir.
session was really very useful. And thank you very much for sharing such valuable information, especially for the beginners. This was a very, very essential requirement. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank
Sir, how to write introduction?
you. Hello.
Hello.
Madam, please.
Hello, sir. How to write the introduction of the thesis?
Introduction. introduction should be given in natural form. It should not be prolonged to several pages. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
what is most relevant about your topic?
Okay.
So that only should be given in the introduction. Okay, madam.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Kindly share your PPTs, sir. If it is possible, kindly share the recorded session video with us, sir. It is going to be
Sure.
helpful for us. We can able to review what was happened, what was discussed.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Thank you.
And my
Thank you, sir.
number is provided here. My email ID is also given here. My number is 9842602131. My email ID is winnerkumareshan@gmail.com.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yes, madam.
Can you tell me about the objectives framing, sir?
We
Is
are
it
going to discuss
in an
tomorrow.
article there is the 2 objectives needed or enough?
Yes, madam. We'll discuss tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Tomorrow's topic is framing the objectives.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Let us discuss tomorrow.
Sir, in chat box, there one participants given one question, sir.
Yes.
While writing review of literature, how can we split the review based on variables?
Sir?
Sir, while writing research review of literature, how can we split the review based on variables?
Yes. See, the literature need not be split based on variables. I told you no. Based on concepts, we can split. Need not be split based on the variables. Okay. Suppose if you are particular about the variables point of view, then for each variable, you can give different, because see, in a study, there can be many variables used. And in your study, you are going to use certain variables. And that too, suppose dependent variables, if you are taking about you are talking about the dependent variables will be minimum. But independent variables may be very large. So for independent variables, you cannot give literature for each and every independent variable. So for dependent variable, you can give it. Like I told you, no concepts. I told you as concepts, you are telling about variables. That's all. See, consumer behavior, factors influencing purchase decision, or consumer satisfaction, consumer loyalty. These are the variables. I told you in the name of variable. You are telling that in the name of variables. That's all. So based on the concepts or variables, the two dependent variables, not the independent variables, because there can be many independent variables. For each and every variable, independent variable, you cannot give the literature separately. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Now we are.
I have another question, sir.
Yes, madam.
How to find the impact factor journal and the index journals?
Yes. No. The impact factor is mentioned in the website of the journal itself. You can just visit the website of journal. You just check the agencies. Indexing and abstracting will be given. You just go through not only the scopus, not only the web of, you have some Google Scholar indexing is there, Copernicus is there, Indian Copernicus is there, iGet is there. So many indexing agencies are there, like academia, right? You just the indexing agencies, then you can look at the impact factor. Based on that, you can select the journals.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, The chapters which we have, it depends on the objectives or what, sir. If we have 5 objectives, we have to have 6 chapters. Is it mandatory, sir?
No, not necessary, madam. See, you can
Okay.
give the entire analysis in a single chapter itself. That's okay. But some guides advise you to separate the analysis in separate chapters according to the objectives. It is not necessary, madam.
Okay, so thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to everyone who participated today. We hope you will participate tomorrow's session also well and increase your research knowledge. One more thing, feedback link will be given on tomorrow's session only. So don't ask repeatedly. Please share me the link, sir. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
organizers and the speaker for wonderful session. Thank you. It was a
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Heartily congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, it is very informative session, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you,
very
sir.
much for
Thank you.
conducting that. It is
Thank you,
very
sir.
much
Thank you very
helpful for
Helpful
us,
and
sir.
opportune, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
We eagerly waiting for the next session, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Shekhar, shall I leave? Shekhar?